Hey everyone, thanks for joining. John here, senior software engineer with 10 years of experience, and I'm the lead maintainer of Laterally.io, an educational platform that will help you land your first or next programming role. Today we're working on some LeetCode. We are working on tries. This is the third video in a series of working on tries. All of the videos are saved on the YouTube channel under the playlists tab. I've been trying to be creative with these titles. So this one is called Third Try is the Charm. And here's where we left off dealing with tries previously. One of the things that I was uncomfortable with is whether it's allowable to use this literals set instead of having an inbuilt primitive that indicates whether a string was inserted to the try. And since that previous stream, I've had a meeting with a technical coach, and they assured me that it's usually fine. And the asterisk on the word usually will be if you're in an interview situation and they specifically say, I don't want you to do that, then you should go with whatever they say, right? We sort of already know that. So contrast this with problem number 208. Actually, I don't think you need to contrast it. We'll loop back and implement 208. I think you can implement 208 following this literals pattern. And so then we are free to use the recursive dictionary. We're free to follow this recursive dictionary pattern, which I quite like, instead of needing to build a try class, or worse yet, in my opinion, distinct try class with try nodes class, which is just super clunky and hard to dish out in an interview. Okay, so here we are. We have this literals set. I don't even know if we need it for this problem. I think it was illustrating the problem with the other problem. So let's start by reading the problem. Longest common prefix. We want to write a function to find the longest common prefix amongst an array of strings. So here with flower, flow, and flight, we have this FL. And we have contrived a solution because we want to practice using tries. For me, the intuition is not there. Like, I know it has the word prefix. Maybe for you, if you hear the word prefix, it kicks off that you should use a try. For me, that's not the case. When I see that I should be looping over a substring, I'm going to an array string-based approach, because the structure of the try itself, let's print out the try and you can see this. So the prefix is hash map is a try. It's a dictionary representation of a try. You can see we have these nested letters. But you can see there's no obvious way in a pass to grab a common substring from here. Let's see. Maybe it is because there's only one top level key. Is that what makes it obvious? And so as soon as you have more than, let's go with that logic. As soon as I have more than one child, I sort of eject or escape or break the loop. So I'm going to traverse as long as there's a single key child. Then I find F, then I find L, and then I eject. Well, let's go with that. Maybe that exactly is the intuition. Maybe that's a perfectly fine intuition. And it just takes a bit more space. So this is not the efficient solution to this problem, but perhaps I can see how it's an intuitive solution to the problem. Okay, so here I'm going to say while cur key length. Again, to me, this is not the first place my brain goes, but hey, power to you if it's where your brain goes, contingent on upon the fact that it's going to work, which I'm not sure, but let's see. So here I will say prefixes dot keys. Okay, and I'll say while the current key length is, do we want less than 2 or do we want equal to 1? What about the 0 case? In the 0 case, I should break. So I'm going to go equal to 1. Trevor, sharp, quick tip, more problem diversity. Yeah, maybe that's smart. Schoolio, what up, dude? Hey, Schoolio. Thanks for the follow. Dog Lover 1981. So while the current key length is 1, I'll dive in. Yeah, so there's no need to worry about forks because as soon as there would need to be more than one key for there to be a fork at all. So we'll say while current key length is 1, we will accumulate a common prefix. And then it's going to be the actual string. Trevor says, like AI, we can also fit our brain to specific types of problems. Absolutely. Jays, what roles are you applying for? Mainly software engineer, but also SRE, cloud engineer, backend engineer, front-end engineer, full stack, all of those. Basically software engineer. I'm not one of those people that says, oh, backend developer is super distinct from software engineer. They're not that distinct. What level are you? Senior plus. So I'm being considered for senior, staff, principal roles, all of the above. Shiski, do you have a degree? I do. I have a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD. Okay, so while the key is 1, we're going to accumulate it. So how do I step in? Yeah, since there's one key, I can just step into the first key. So I'll need to be tracking a current dictionary. I'll need to be tracking cur dict is going to equal prefixes. I guess I can do it this way. I can just set it to 1 to start with so that I can step inside my loop effectively. Starting a new project on Monday, it'll be Next.js with a primary focus on upskilling faster in web development. Cool, sounds great. Let me know how it goes. What language is that? The answer is right at the top of the LeetCode IDE. It's Python, Python 3. Okay. So here's the reference to the current dictionary, and then I'm going to just stipulate that the key length is 1 as a base case so that I step into this loop at least once. Now, instead of the prefixes keys, I'll say the current dict.keys. Is there a case where current dict has a null pointer? No, there should never be. There should never be. It has a dictionary pointer here, and then we will never step through if the key length is 0, so we will never actually get to a null pointer. Okay. So here is the current key length. And now I want to step through. So current dict will equal current dict.get, current dict.keys is the 0 index, and that's guaranteed to be there. Yeah, for me, this is not an intuitive way to do this, but I guess it works. So now I have I've stepped into any key. By the way, I should accumulate that key. So that character, so we'll call this cur char. Common prefix, we will accumulate this current character. This could be false on the first iteration. I guess we can handle that like this. So if there are no prefixes at all, we will just return an empty string. Yeah, so logically, I don't need to do all this, right? So the current key length is not equal to 1. It's handled sort of organically already. So logically, I don't need to do that. Okay. So if it is 1, now I'm guaranteed that I can find the current character. I'll accumulate that character, and then I will step in. Then I will step in, and I will reevaluate my key length. Current dict.keys. That's fine. You could extract this to a variable. It's calling the keys function twice. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. So let's see. See how this does. Dict keys is not subscriptable. Okay. I'll turn it into a list. Can I just do this? Yeah, cool. Wrong answer. Dun, dun, dun. Is this a 30-line LeetCode solution? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, including the comments. I told you this one already. You have to do sliding glass door. No, you don't have to. You can do this with a try. What's this for? We're just practicing tries. I saw when you panned. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so what's wrong with this? Let's take a look. Oh, I'm getting an empty string. That's not good. Return common prefix. I should not have a list at all. Why do I have a list? Am I adding strings wrong? Oh, no, sorry. I read that was the output. That says input. Okay. Because strings was literally inserted. That's what I'm not accounting for. An empty string was literally inserted. Interesting. I mean, we can do this. We can say if there's an empty string in the literal set, really, if you run into an empty string at all, you just return that. Sorry, you don't put a colon there. That's going to still be wrong. Let's see. So now I have A, B. Right. Yeah, this still doesn't work. I need to know the literal inserts. Hey, can I get your GitHub handle? Yep, it's Vanderveer. Voila, that's your boy. Okay, so what if I loop through? It doesn't seem to help me much, right? Yeah, how do you do this with a trie? I'm definitely missing something. The question is so easy, you got this. Yeah, I'm actually not trying to do the naive solution to this. Like, I've already solved this problem. So you can see I had some solutions here. I'm trying specifically to use a trie. That's the difference. So let's see. What's wrong with my trie here? Why practice tries? Yeah, why practice data structures at all? The answer is because sometimes you get asked a try question in an interview. That's the answer. All right, so let's look at this official solution. Why for this problem? Because I can. So if you go to try tag delete code problems and then you sort by frequency, this is the most frequent one. So that's why I picked this problem. Yeah, so they're passing the end, the literal end. This is something I don't have a good intuition for. When do I need this abstraction and when do I not need it? They're also passing a link count down the tree. So this trinode thing is actually growing on me. I hate to admit it, but if we don't know the properties that I will need to append at every node in the tree, if we assume it's a variable property set, then it does make sense to have a trinode abstraction. It does make sense because I could put anything here. I could put like banana count, like whatever I want. And the alternative is what? So I have an alternative for the is end, which is my literal set. But this link count thing, I don't know that I have an alternative for that. My bad. How do you spell your last name again? Yeah, no problem. It's not the easiest one, is it? You can take a screenshot. It's also in my bio, by the way. You can just, if you're on TikTok, you can just go to my bio right there. And then here's my GitHub. Also YouTube and stuff if you want to see the full screen. Okay. So I could have a dictionary. Oh, I could pass it through tuples is another thing I could do. TypeScript tab, here you go. So the other thing I can do is if I don't want to define a trinode class, I could still have a dictionary. Yeah, a trie is basically a map of maps. That's right. And the keys should always be characters. That's something interesting about a trie. It's a map of maps, and the keys should always be characters. So yeah, I think I can do. Let's see if I can do that instead of a literals map. Let's say I have a data map. A data map. And this is going to have keys are literal string inserts, values are arbitrary data. Does this help us? So now I could look up is and link count without needing to create a custom class. I basically have like a parallel tree. Excuse me. What is the link count thing? Let me see how this is being used. I don't really get the link count. So we have insert, search longest prefix. So the link count is not added on insertion time. Here it is. Where is it calculated? Add child. Oh, golly. I'm okay with changing up the properties on the trie, but changing up the methods on the trie node is super annoying. This is also weird to me. So for S in strings, what is Q? So they altered the solution function signature for this. This is so weird, man. These leetcode trie problems really irritate me. Where did Q come from? What's going on? Okay. Thanks for the likes. This doesn't make sense for me. If we suppose that, well, it doesn't make sense for me if we suppose that Q is strs, because now you're doing the substring of every string. But that must not be what they're doing, right? They must be doing something else, because that's crazy. All right, I'm not going to use this trie implementation. Let's see if I can just get the link count idea. Why do we care about link count? If the link count is 1, then we want to append the character. Now, why would I do link count there instead of just, okay, maybe it's more elegant or something, instead of doing the key length thing that I did here? Search longest prefix. And then you're going to pass Q. I don't know what Q is, man. Okay. Poppy Sensei, what's going on? So if link count is just my dict keys math, if that's all it is, then it doesn't matter and I don't need it. I basically have it accounted for without using this property. So then I just care about the is end thing after all. So let's see how that's being used. Can I see the graph example? Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Is that helpful? I think it's kind of hard to look at. Well, then again, maybe mine is hard to look at. For me, for my eyes anyway, this thing is easier to read, but I could understand if that's hard to read as well. Does that make sense? Probably pretty printing this is even better. Trying to know the question. Okay, here's the description. So what's the issue with my logic where I wanted to look for FL? No, we solved that problem. So the case that I fail on is the AB case. Yeah, so I'm finding something else. It's just not a common prefix. So I will need to go. I can carry the minimum literal's length. That'll be helpful. Yeah, let's do that. Min size is so we'll guard against empty strs. And now that I'm guaranteed to have one, I'll say that the min size is the length of the first string. Now I don't need, I had a guard somewhere else. Yeah, now I don't need this anymore. Or do I? I still do. Okay. Here, I can do this. It bugs me they're not in alphabetical order, but whatever. I should just chill. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay. So these are the min size. And now what I need to do here is this common prefix that I have here. It should never grow longer than this minimum size. Princess Dadon, what program is this? This is leetcode.com, the one and only. The one and only. Okay, so I can return like that maybe. Is that syntactically correct? Still the wrong answer. I gave A, B, we expected A. And why did I do that? Because I didn't do math, because I don't know math. You need those critical math skills, huh? What I should have done is said the minimum of that and this. Okay. Now, why am I still getting an AB? So somehow my min size is allowing. Is there an off by one problem in my slice here? Do I need to do that? Okay, my slice is messed up. Is it stressful to learn or light work to learn? LeetCode, I think LeetCode is not light work. Yeah, I guess it's stressful. So something is wrong in my slice syntax. I mean, the first thing I could do is just I could just Google the syntax, but I also think that I don't need to slice. So we'll do both. I'll fix the syntax later. Right now, I want to try to do it without slicing at all. So we'll return the common prefix. The trick will be whenever I add anything to the common prefix, I want to add a condition. If common prefix, the length of it is my min size, then I should just return it. Okay. Great. Everything I do is wrong. Awesome. So I feel like there's an off by 1 issue in my code somewhere. Why is it not saying, oh, the min size is 1, so I should slice? Okay, yeah, it's an off by 1 issue. The min size is, yeah, this is my off by 1 issue. If I have a character that's 1 length, then I will slice the 0, not the 1. That's my issue. Okay, and now I'm slicing too much. If the length of the common prefix, let me go back to my slicing thing. Maybe I fixed it. And here I'm slicing too much. Yo, okay, maybe something bigger is going on, huh? Admire your immediate muscle memory for formatting the cursor. Thank you so much. How long did it take me to learn coding? Like, to get my first job, it took me like a year. But now I'm 10 years in, and you know, whenever you go on the job search, you still get rusty and you have to redo your LeetCode. It's kind of annoying. It's super annoying. It's not kind of annoying. It's super, super annoying. So I thought there was an off by 1 issue here, but now I think there's a bigger problem. And the reason is, if I adjust the off by 1, I still have an issue. Tips for me, I want to study computer science. Let's see. The big tip that I have for computer science students is that you don't socially network enough. The typical one. I mean, obviously you have your outliers, but the typical student does not do enough social networking. If you're talking about going to university or college, that is. So don't freak out if you get a B+, that's totally fine. If you're taking time to socially network, that's a fantastic investment instead of, I'll have no friends, but I'll make an A or an A+. Like, that's the wrong investment choice, basically. Yo, this code is kind of garbage, huh? So why? All right, let's go ask our AI overlord. Hey, why is this solution to getting a string array LCP trash? It causes me to fail a lot, parentheses, social skills. That's all right. We can all do better. No one's perfect. As soon as you find your weakness, you find your area for potential growth. The solution you've provided is not necessarily trash. I love you too, Claude. You're so nice. See, look, chat, it's not necessarily trash. What stack are you currently focusing on? I don't know. Like, I'm not focusing on a stack. I'm focusing on LeetCode, right? Laterally is Next.js, if that helps at all. Can I retire from a tech job by the age of 30? Yes, you can. Careful with your wording there, though, because can and likely are very different worlds. But it's absolutely possible, yes. It's not likely to solve the riddle. It's possible, but it's not likely. Problem of finding LCP can be done more simply. Yeah, I want to use a trie, though. Oh, did I say the wrong thing? Longest common. Oh, maybe LCP means like least common. Probably I said the wrong thing, huh? Whatever. Do you know BFS and DFS code off the top of your head? Of course, I'm a 10x programmer. Of course I know how to enqueue a BFS. I can do topological sort, homie. What do you know about topology? Did you ever topolog? Get wrecked. Chat, I'm going to tell you a joke. Let me know when to stop. The solution to DFS is the solution to DFS is the solution to DFS is the solution to DFS. All right, that was the joke. Topological sort is really easy, says David Archuleta. Thanks, David. You're strong and impressive. Okay, so let's look at their code. I'm just going to smash copy paste without looking at all. Let's get a security vulnerability injected. Bam. Oh, it worked. It worked. All right, now that we know it works, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't hallucinating. Like, there's no sense analyzing a wrong solution, right? So we verified, by the way, that was a joke. You should not just take Claude's code and run it in prod. Like, you will die, and no one will remember you. Okay. They wanted to make a trie node. Oh. Maybe this is the right thing to do. I'm super resistant to breaking out the trie node, and it feels like I'm the one making the problem at this point, to be honest with you. By the way, look, all these computer science nerds don't know how to spell the word trie. Isn't that crazy? It's T-R-Y. Should have been an English major. So for word and strings, if it's not there, return cool. The node is the root. What is going on here? The node, bro. The node is the root. Yeah, that's right. We want to reset to the top of the tree for every word. Yes, we do. So now that we're pointing at the top of the tree, we are going to traverse. We're going to say, hey, if this character is not in there, let's make it. Sure, that's what I did. Then we just dive, right? And we're traversing. And then we set that the end is true. Yeah, this solves the substring problem, doesn't it? Because if I have flow, W is marked as end. And now if I run flower, W is not marked as end false. It retains end is true. And so there's two endpoints now, which is the main pain point that I'm trying to solve. Having multiple endpoints along the same DFS path, if that makes sense. The same logical branch. I'm new to coding. What language is this? This is Python. Good question. Thanks for being here. The visible hand followed. Thanks, the visible hand. What is he trying to make? So we solved this problem. And what I'm trying to do is I just don't like this node. I want to do this problem without this trie node. Okay, let me ask Claude. Claude knows everything, right? I think we can just have a second parallel tree. And at this point, like I'm willing to grant, hey, if you have two trees instead of one tree, that's more complex in a sense. So I'm willing to trade complexity. It looks like you're going to have the complexity either way. Either we have a more complex implementation because we have a tree node class, or we have a more complex implementation because we have two parallel trees. And so I'm willing to grant that mine is not super elegant, but I still prefer it. Because I have mental issues. That's the reason. I have mental issues and I don't want to write a trinode class. Which I should probably just get over and get used to the idea. If you build a trie, you have a trinode. They're just two, we talk about tries as if it's one structure, but it's really two structures. You're going to have a trie and a trinode. That's the way it is. No name, thanks for the follow. That's an ironic name. Their name is no name. Very meta. Do you work at Meta? Did you build Meta? Is Mark Zuckerberg in the house? Oh, it looks like this works. So we use an end marker. What? How does that work? End marker. Nice. First code I see on TikTok. Welcome, Yori. Thank you for being here. What am I looking at? I'm tripping out. There's a next iter call. There's a next iter call. Current.set default. That's just like a Pythonic way to make the equals dictionary. It's like the if-else condition, but you can do it in one line. Fine. Does a double array trie apply? It could. It could. So technically, if you have a hash map, it's actually isomorphic to a trie. Just because they're technically isomorphic doesn't make it a good idea, though. Like, do we really want to pre-allocate a ginormous array? No, I'd rather use a hash map because the thing is, like, we're going to go on a rabbit trail if I talk through that. But if I'm going to pre-allocate my ASCII codes, then my array will be oversized because I'm going to be looking up the ASCII code index, right? How much money can I make as a SWE? I don't know. Dict-based. Yeah, I prefer dict-based for sure. Dictionaries in the house. I don't know if I have a dictionary in my house, but metaphorically I do. So look, this makes sense. I like the idea of using a marker. So far we're cruising. For the word in strings, if this looks good, we're going to point at the trie. We're going to loop. This makes sense. Why am I tripping up on this line? This is the line that's tripping me up because it's taking the current. Because I'm thinking ahead and I'm trying to think ahead to my key logic, and that breaks my key logic. You see how I was doing this length cur dict keys? I can no longer do that if I'm doing this. And so that's the reason I'm tripping up on it, is it's like, whoa, we had the same idea until this thing. And now I am eliminated. I'm eliminated. And Claude took my job at this point. Okay. So, and then it says find the LCP down here. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool that it broke up. We're going to build the trie. And now I'm going to hit the reset button and just like ignore everything that happened so far. And this is like a totally different micro problem. I like that. Can you implement concurrent programming? I mean, I can. We're not going to do that. You don't need concurrent programming for LeetCode. Thanks for the follow. Oh, wow. Even more follows. Y'all rock. Thank you so much. Hey, if you're a recent joiner to TikTok, quick reminder that you can go to my bio and see the link to YouTube, and you'll be able to see the whole screen. So my bio will take you here, and here's YouTube. You'll be able to see the whole screen. You can also sign up to Latterly, an open source platform that will help you learn to code and land your first or next programming role. And you can join the Discord for free. If I don't get to your question, please do join the Discord, and you can ask over there. Where are you based? I'm near Washington, D.C. How about you? Is that Huntley? Huntley, thank you for the follow. Not sure if I said that right. Okay, so this all looks good to me, but here is different than what I did. So what are they doing? Because whatever they're doing is better. LCP is going to be an empty array. What are we putting in LCP? Oh, we're just putting the string. So that could totally be an empty string. I got zero problem with that. That's fine. If you want to initialize an empty string and then append on the string, that's fine. If you want to build an array and then join it, I am kind of like, why? Like, why join it? I would do the string thing. But anyway, it's intuitive enough. Goku, yo, Goku just followed me, y'all. Goku, are you trying to get Leet? You're trying to code, bro? Having superpowers and being able to break planets is so obsolete in 2024. Thank you for the follow. Razor, thank you for the follow. All right, so yeah, this line, I'm good on this line. We're going to build out a string. That's fine. We're going to end up joining it. So my confusion, we're triangulating it here. Really, it's the next iter that's throwing me, but we're going to take, we're like narrowing the window of confusion. You see what I mean? And this is actually how my brain works. Like, if you're vibing with me, welcome to the team. If you're like, how does this guy's brain even work? Like, he's jumping around. I really do this like triangulation of confusion, and I'm trying to read through the problem. What bits do I understand and what do I not understand? And really focus on the bit that confuses me, whether it's 1, 2, 3 lines, and just drill that into my head. And then now I can read the problem. That's how you can think about like a sliding window or like a 2-pointers approach to understanding the code itself is literally the way I think through things. And this is helpful if you actually get a software engineering job. And if you are doing a root cause analysis, you can list out the possible root causes, and then hopefully you can prioritize them by likelihood or something like that, and follow an elimination-based approach and zero in on the true root cause. And so it's like a root cause analysis approach to understanding a coding solution. Like, what is the line of code that's the root cause of my confusion is the mental model I'm bringing here. Does that make sense? What language? This is Python. Good afternoon. I'm starting to take beginning steps into IT. Are classes on Coursera good? No, I don't recommend Coursera. Do you suggest Codecademy for starting in Python? No, I don't. I'll show you this quickly. High Ability and Educational Prestige is the paper where I define the prestige rule for a high-quality coding bootcamp. And so you want to do this. This is what I recommend. You want to learn Python, you go to coursereport.com, and you find a high-quality bootcamp. You go browse schools, you pick all schools. By the way, a computer science degree will work. So what I'm saying now holds if you are trying to dodge university, or if you've already been through university and maybe the career services were not good, or maybe you don't actually know how to code. And we call that a last mile pattern. But in a very common case, a university degree will be totally fine, and you won't need to do a boot camp in addition. But if you're asking me about Coursera and stuff like that, I recommend a boot camp over and above those. Okay, anyway, you sort by most reviewed, and don't sort by best reviewed, sort by least reviewed. And you want to see more than 400 reviews and a score of 4.25 or higher. Bootcamp, does that assume basic knowledge to start? Many of them do. Not all of them, but many of them, yes. The best ones will provide a free onboarding curriculum. And so let's see, does Springboard do this? I know General Assembly does this. Let me see, what is General Assembly's stats? They've gone back and forth between being good and not. Okay, so they're over 4.25 today. We're making a recovery. They've been above and below the line over time, but it looks like today they count as high quality. So kudos to General Assembly for turning the ship around. I know that's not easy. Trust me. Like, as someone who runs an educational platform, I know that it's hard when a lot of people have already tried it and it wasn't good, and then now you're trying to be good. Anyway, so General Assembly will have like a free version that covers the basics that you need to get in before you're basically qualified to join the bootcamp. That URL, again, writing it down, it's coursereport.com. Ankit, hello. All right. Write your own projects as well. Yeah, all of those top quality boot camps that I mentioned will involve you creating projects. It's totally true. You're going to need a portfolio, basically. You're going to need a portfolio. Also, if you go to latterly.io, so Latterly is not a boot camp, but it is an educational platform. What's the difference? They're super different. I'm not going to go into the differences. But anyway, if you follow this checklist, you're going to have a portfolio of projects. So what I just showed you about finding a good boot camp is actually a submodule of Latterly. Latterly will help you even if you went to a boot camp. The truth is some boot camps do not have, like many boot camps do not have very good career services. So Latterly is going to help fill that gap of actually landing a job. That's like the whole origin story of Latterly. Been looking for a job since March after boot camp. You came to the right place. You need to sign up. And when I say sign up, it's free. This is not like a cash grab. Just join the Discord and come chat with us. Okay? Sign up, check out the checklist. Scroll down here. You probably don't know about networking scripts. So you need to read these. It's going to help you land a job. I went to Tech Elevator. Cool. What'd you think about it? Hot or not? Kintech, thank you for the follow. I'm from India, and you? I'm from United States, near Washington, D.C. All right, let's zero back in on this. When the length of current is 1. This is a smarter way to do the keys thing. I don't need to do, so let me run this again. Does this work? But I don't need to do length of current dict.keys. I can just say length of current dict. Totally forgot on that. Totally forgot on that. Can I just say list current dict? Yeah, that's way better, right? That's just straight up a better version of my own code, like straight up. Chan, thank you for sharing the live. I got a CCNA programming language. Would you suggest for me? ? I don't know what CCNA means. This? Oh man, I hope I'm not breaking your heart, but my analysis shows that Cisco certifications don't have much of a value at all. So my recommendation for Cisco CCNA is just don't do it. We're going on a bunch of rabbit trails, y'all. That's okay. I live to serve. So interviewing.io has the certification analysis. And so here's interviewing.io's blog article, why you shouldn't list certifications on LinkedIn. I disagree with this title. Okay. I'm not supporting the whole article. I believe you should put a high quality certification on LinkedIn, but not the average or random. And so what I want to point you to is don't just believe the whole thing, but they have a chart that I want to show you. So this is the chart that I want to show you. Okay. Some certifications are worse than others. Bro, Cisco, it's just like, it's associated with doing worse. It's like a negative credential. So I just would not do the CCNA if that's what you meant, if you're talking about a Cisco cert. Okay, you lost me. CCNA is good for network engineering. Yeah, I mean, maybe the part that's the gap is that I just don't recommend network engineering. Like, I think you should go for software engineering. Power to you. If you're like, I'm super passionate about network engineering, power to you. My typical advice is like, don't do it. It's like lower pay, higher stress for most people. But if you're passionate about it, then that may not apply to you, right? Went to a tech boot camp, but now in college for CS. Okay, cool. Best wishes. Thanks for being here. If I'm starting out in security, how hard is it to switch to Suite? You should be able to do that in under a year. Let's see. I don't know if that's accurate. For many people, that's accurate. I think that's probably accurate for you if you want to be an engineer, but take it with a grain of salt because I don't have direct evidence on that question. I just have general evidence on the general question of becoming a programmer. This is too simple of a graph. Cisco security certs are good. Hey, you can take it out with the data, homie. I mean, this is not my graph. All right, that was a fun rabbit trail. There have been a lot of questions. I love it. Oh, more than 50 people on the stream. Damn, we blew up. Thanks, y'all. Thanks so much. At this point, I'm going to ask that you visit my bio and sign up to Latterly. And all of the questions that I have not yet gotten to, please put them on the Discord. Because I'm going to take these last 5 minutes and we're going to be rolling with some code instead of taking a bunch of questions. So come over to the Discord and drop your questions over there. All right, let's wrap up some code over here. The length of current is exactly 1, works for me. This is a better way of asking my question when I said, what is the length of the keys? And if there's 1, I'm going to traverse through it and I'm going to accumulate my string. That all makes sense. But how is the end marker not throwing this off? How is the end marker not throwing this off? It will break out of the loop. And I think the gap is that breaking out of the loop is perfectly okay. So I think there is a way to improve this code. It says if the end marker is not in current, which is wonderful for readability, but I think it's technically not needed. So if the end marker is in current, this check should never pass is what I expect. So let's confirm my understanding of the code. This is a great way to confirm your understanding of AI generated code. There's a lot of people out there who think that using an AI tool to assist your learning journey damages your learning. I emphatically have the hiccups. I emphatically disagree. You can learn better, not just as well, but actually better using AI assistance, and even better when you use the right techniques. One of the main techniques you're going to need to get good at, there's going to be three things. One is you need to spot hallucinations. If you cannot spot a hallucination, AI will really inhibit your learning journey. But if you can spot a hallucination, it's not a problem. The second thing that you should do is you should practice prompt engineering best practices. If you're talking to an AI like you talk to your buddy when you go to the bar, you're not going to get optimal results. There are specific ways to drive large language models, and there are well-documented techniques on prompt engineering. So if you're going to be a prompt engineer, study prompt engineering. Okay. And the third thing is you're going to want to trust but verify, and really pay attention to security practices. So we're going to trust but verify to confirm the validity of my understanding, which is a great application of trust but verify. You also want to view this from a security perspective and be mindful that I'm not just grabbing whatever GPT said and then inputting it into my production server. That is a way to get yourself hacked. So you want to trust but verify and put it through all of your high quality standard review steps, peer review, testing, all of those things, and make sure it works before you deploy it anywhere. So that works in two directions. Make sure the code works before you deploy it. And also make sure you understand the code before you deploy that solution in an interview. Like make sure do you see how it works two ways? Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Someone said answer boy. That's hilarious. Looks like we have over 60 followers. So I guess some of you are recent joiners. But as I said, I'm done taking questions for today. Please join latterly.io and you can put your questions on the Discord if I didn't get to it. So we're going to take up these last few minutes to actually deal with code, not with questions. Thanks again. Okay, so how am I verifying my understanding? I'm going to copy this over and I'm going to change it one change at a time and make sure that it still works. And so now I don't need to run the join routine. So I'm expecting this to pass. Great, that works. And now this is the one, I don't think that's actually needed at all. What am I missing here? Ooh, object of type bool has no len. Line 22. Current became a bool somehow. How? Okay, hold on. Current is next node. Okay, so something about this. That's what you get for dynamically typed languages. That's the truth. Usher, thanks for the follow. Line 14. No, it's not line 14. We've already passed line 21, so there's no way that 14 could cause an error on 22. Next iter can return false. Yeah, I think that's right. And so that's good because it connects with my remaining confusion, which is literally on that line. I feel like I understand the rest of the solution, except why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? What are we doing? Sliding window? No, I love it. I love it. I feel like sliding window is the one algorithm that everyone on TikTok knows, apparently. No, this is a trie. This is a trie pattern. By the way, this channel will be saved or this video is saved on YouTube, and the video is called Third Try is the Charm, TRIE. Bro, ¿qué estudias? I don't know how to say it in Spanish. Sorry, man. Estamos estudiando leetcode. But yeah. Estudia la and you can get a really nice job, man. It's the most common algo on ChatGPT. That's why. That's hilarious. Wow, we're over 75 on the channel. I guess I'll plug this one more time. I hate to spend so much time plugging it, but it's important. Latterly.io, link is in the bio. It'll help you land your first or next programming role. It's a social community, y'all. So you can join the Discord, grow your social network, pull up over there. It's the after party. Pull up over there, add people on your LinkedIn, grow your network. And any questions that I don't get to, you can ask them there. That's why it's going to be really important, because I don't have time to answer all the questions. Leet gang, we in here. We in here. So why am I using next iter cur items? So iter on cur items is going to go through the children. So why do I care to do that? Why do I care to go through all the children? Next node, current points at next node. Okay. Yeah, it's coincidental. It's coincidental that it's allowed. So if we run into an end marker, I definitely have reached the LCP. Does that make sense? You can have no LCP, which goes beyond the end marker. So that's why coincidentally this flies, because I will never iterate over the end marker, thanks to the prior mentioned property. That's the reason why it works. So I don't think we need to do this. I think we can do the zero key. I think we can do the zero key, and maybe, I don't know, Claude thinks this is a more elegant way to do that. But I think we can use the zero key. If the length of current is 1. Oh, is it possible that the length of current is 1 and the end marker is in current? Yeah. So it is true that if the end marker is there, the length of current will not be 1. That is true. If the end marker is there, the length of current will not be 1. It does not follow that we can eliminate this condition. And the reason is the length of current could be 1 thanks only to the end marker with no sibling characters. So that's a different reason that we care about the end marker. It's a different reason that we care about the end marker. Good. Okay, so I've convinced myself that actually I cannot remove this, and that improved my understanding of Claude's solution. Now, at this point, we are guaranteed not to have an end marker in the children of items. Therefore, I should be able to use my key 0 thing. Next node. So yeah, so this is nice in the sense that it lets us have 2 lines in 1 line. Again, let's verify my understanding by breaking this into 2 lines, doing a refactor here. So I'm going to do a current items. So we'll call this items. I don't like that. I don't like that. Current is a dictionary. So I should be able to say key val. And so val will be another dictionary. Not enough values to unpack. Okay. So I'll do this. Dict keys is not subscriptable. Cool. And that works. Okay, so the reason that we do the next iter thing is it's really a syntactic sugar. We don't need to loop through the keys. There's only one key that we care about. It's just that it's like a syntactic, it's like a nicer way to express this. Good, so I think we've comprehended the solution.